in the church. It wouldn't be right. But we visited a church while we were away on our honeymoon. And we've never been back to that church. And we've been around the area, but we've never been back to it. It was so starchy. It was so put on. When we were greeted at the door, and I won't use the church name, we were greeted at the door by three people standing there as you walk out of church. And the first one, good morning, welcome to our church. 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 Every person that walked past, that was their greeting. Good morning, welcome to our church. Not where are you from, you're staying long. No, it's just not nice. And so something for us to think about. If you see somebody standing in the foyer, go and approach them. I'm a very shy person, and I have found that quite difficult to do that. But it's not really that hard to just walk up to somebody and say, hi, how you going? And if you do that, be prepared if you ask somebody how they're going to get a negative answer. Because not everyone comes to church in a positive mood. Sometimes people come to church and they don't want to be here. I've been at church when I don't want to be here, but I have to be here, so I put on a good face. But it's interesting, if you ask somebody how you're going and the response is, I've had a lousy week, so many people say, oh, that's nice. They're not really listening. And if you ask somebody, how are you going today? And they say, look, I've had a rotten week, a lousy week, I'm feeling really whatever, be prepared to sit and listen to them, or find somebody that will sit and listen to them. It can mean quite a difference to that person. We talked before about safety and protection. Do you feel safe? Do your kids feel safe here in this church? I would like to think they do. We do our best to make sure our kids are safe. It's not perfect, but we do our best. We want our kids to be safe here. Do you feel that you belong here? Is this the sort of place you feel that you are part of and belong? Who does feel like that? Okay. I think the elders have got a bit of work to do here. Do you feel that you belong here? Is this your church and you belong here? I do. I think it's great. Okay, that's a bit better. Food and shelter we talked about before, and I guess what we need to think about here is not just the physical food, but we are able to do that when people come to us as a church, and it happens from time to time. They are finding it difficult, and we need to nourish those people with physical food, but also the spiritual food. We need to look after the spiritual needs of our church family. Comfort. Do we find comfort here in our church? When the chips are down, can people find comfort among our church members? Is there a shoulder to lean on here for them? What about our heritage? We have a wonderful heritage as an Adventist church. We need to be proud of it. Not conceited, but proud of it. And so I guess this morning my challenge for you is to ask yourself, what can I do to help people feel welcome here in Penrith Church? How can I make them feel accepted into God's family? What can I do to help feed people spiritually? Is there something more that I could do? What can I do to help in the running of the family of God? In a normal family, is it one or two people doing all the work? Unfortunately, it tends to happen that way quite often, and I've got to be careful what I say here. But we need to be able to help each other. And at church, we need the same thing. Church doesn't work with just one or two people leading out. Church works when we're all working together for the common good. I had to put that in because nominating committee is coming up. Please consider nominating committee. Church doesn't run by itself. We need you. We need you to do your part as well. After saying that, we recognise some people cannot take part in the running of the church. That's fine. But if we could just get people accepting the fact that this is a family, we need to do our part as well. And I guess, how can I show people I care about them personally? It's all right for me to stand up here and say all these things, but how do I care about you individually? How do you care about others within this family individually? Remember that families are not static. You don't just have this static family. It moves, it changes, and there's all sorts of challenges come and go. And I guess for me, it comes down to how would I like to be treated if I visited another church? And the verse that comes to mind is Luke 6:31. Do to others as you would have them do to you. So if you would like to be ignored when you visit somewhere else, if you'd like to be just left out like that, then maybe that's what you need to do here in Penrith. Please don't. But just think about it. How do you want to be treated? If you visit somewhere, do you want somebody to make themselves known? Do you want somebody to take you under their wing and so on? Then this is what we can do here as a church. And so this morning, I want you to just think about these things that I've shared with you. The challenge is there for you and I. What can we do to make our church family a better place? I'd like you to take your hymn books now, and we're going to turn to our last hymn.